Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite for May 28th, 2021. And so this is the AEW Dynamite. It was supposed to be on Wednesday, but Wednesday was the NBA playoffs, so they moved it to Friday for right now because of the playoffs. And so yeah, with this show, man, it was okay. It wasn't the best show. It felt like it was a filler show. It felt like they just added matches on the show just to add matches. But all they did tonight was prepared us for Double or Nothing. They got us ready for Double or Nothing. Hyping us up for Double or Nothing. And as far as the matches and stuff, you know, the best match on the show was that Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page match with the Dark Order. Stu Grayson and Ibu Uno. Dark Order versus Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. That was the best match on the show. And so yeah, man. And having fans back, that was another positive on this show. Another positive on the show was having the fans back. A full pack audience, dude. They were packed in there. I don't know how many people it was in that place, but it was packed. They were packed in there, man. They made a lot of noise tonight. And so yeah, so they actually gave life to that show. And having an audience, man, having a crowd is really important. Is really important for a wrestling show because the fans, man, the fans can make a show, uh, and they can even break a show. And tonight, man, the fans they made the show, man. And so yeah, so that was it with that, you know. So yeah, this is the AEW Dynamite review, Friday Night Dynamite review for May 28th, 2021 on the Ryan Awesome Show. And if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know my next video will come out because I am here each and every single week. So make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for all notifications so you don't miss out. And so yeah, first off, we started off the show with a one-on-one match, and it was Darby Allin with Sting in his corner versus Cezar Bononi with Ryan Nemeth, Peter Avalon, and JD Drake in his corner. And so yeah, so we had Darby. He came out to the ring. The crowd was going crazy for Darby, and he had tape on his ribs. From his match against Miro from a couple of weeks ago for the TNT Championship when he lost the TNT Championship. And so yeah, this is a great opener, a great, a match to start off the show. And so yeah, so we had Bononi, he had targeted Darby's ribs, and then we had the crowd chanting "Let's go Darby," and so having a crowd just chanting the match, dude, it was just a breath of fresh air, man. We haven't heard that in a while, man. A crowd reaction, a crowd chanting in a match, we haven't heard it in a while. So yeah, it was a breath of fresh air, man. And so yeah, so Bononi he started throwing Darby Allin around across the ring and all that stuff. And so Darby he tried to fight back. He locked in a sleeper hold on Bononi. And then Darby he still tried to scratch and claw, trying to fight him, so fight back. And so yeah, we had a stunner to Bononi, and we had a shotgun drop kick to Bononi. And to end the match, we had a coffin drop. We had a coffin drop to Bononi to win the match. So therefore, Darby Allin he wins the match. And so yeah, so if you wanted to start off a match, you wanted to start for sure with a hot match. This match right here was a hot match. You know, and what better person? What better person to start off the show than Darby Allin? What better person? So yeah, so yeah, Darby Allin he gets the win. And so yeah, right after that we had Darby Allin. He had grabbed the microphone, something that he usually doesn't do. And so yeah, he had called out Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, to fight. He wanted to fight them. And so yeah, so Sky and Page they had walked out to the ring. They were dressed in clothes. They weren't dressed in wrestling gear. And so Sky and Page they were like, you You actually think that we're gonna come out here and fight you in our nice clothes? No, we're not. And so yeah, and they said that at Double or Nothing, you know, it's gonna be an end. It's gonna be an end for one legend and a start of two legends. And so yeah, right after that, they were talking trash to Sting and Darby Allin, and you had Avalon, Peter Avalon, Cezar Bononi, Ryan Nemeth, and JD Drake. They attacked Darby Allin and Sting from behind, and then Sky and Paige they had joined in on the attack. And so Sky he had tried to break, Sting's ankle because he had his chair. He had a chair on Sting's ankle. He had it tied up to the chair, and so he tried to stomp on the chair, but the Dark Order had came out. All 85 of them came out and chased Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky out the ring. So yeah, and that was it. That's really much the same stuff that they've been doing weeks and weeks and weeks ago. And so yeah, so right after that, so the Dark Order they had gave fist bumps to Sting and Darby Allin, and that was it. And so yeah, so right after that we had Paul White, aka the Big Show, or whatever you want to call him, Big Show, Paul White, same person. So yeah, he officiated the weigh-in between Anthony Ogogo and Cody Rhodes. Nah, man, with this, man, this is a waste of time, dude. I did not care about this, dude. I did not care about this at all. Like I don't even understand why we need a weigh-in for a wrestling match. Like, dude, who cares? Who cares how much Cody Rhodes weighs? Who cares how much Anthony Ogogo weighs? And so yeah, so you had Anthony Ogogo. He had came out first with the Factory. That's QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, Nick Camarado. And so yeah, so Cody Rhodes he had came out with the entire Nightmare family, even his own family members. I think they said his sister was out there or something like that. You know, Arn Anderson was out there, Dustin Rhodes was out there, and the rest of the Nightmare Factory or the Nightmare Family students or the Nightmare Factory students, whatever you want to call them. They had came out with Cody Rhodes. And so yeah, so Paul White he was in the middle of the ring trying to get the weighting scale to work and all that stuff. Cause first he had got Cody in, so Cody he took his clothes off to get on the weights on the scale and all that stuff. And it was an old school scale. It wasn't a digital scale. It probably would have been better if they would have had a digital scale to save time because they took forever. It took forever for them to scan, to weigh Cody Rhodes. And so yeah, so yeah, Cody Rhodes he had weighed in at 218 pounds. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, Anthony Ogogo he went on a weighting scale, and it took forever again. You know, Big Show he was saying that I couldn't invest in a digital weighting scale or whatever he said. And so yeah, so Ogogo he had weighed in at 219 pounds. And so yeah, so QT Marshall, he had interrupted the Big Show while he was talking, and he said that Anthony Ogogo, he has the advantage. He weighs more than Cody Rhodes, so therefore he's heavier than Cody Rhodes, he's stronger than Cody Rhodes, and he has an advantage over Cody Rhodes. So that means that Anthony Ogogo is gonna win. And so so the crowd they started chanting Cody, Cody, and so yeah, so both of these guys they were taunting, they were showing off, like posing to the crowd and all that stuff. And then at one point you had Dustin Rhodes. He had chased off the Nightmare Factory, not the Nightmare Factory, the Factory. QT Marshall and his guys. So yeah, so that was it with that. They had chased them off. They had chased off the Factory, and that was it. And again, I don't know why we need a weigh-in. It's not a UFC fight. Why do we need a weigh-in, dude? I don't know. You couldn't done nothing else. You couldn't done nothing else, man. You could have just stayed off of the show and waited to for Double or Nothing. That's what you should have done. But no, this is a filler show, man. This is a filler show. They just added whatever they wanted to add on this show to get everybody hyped up for Double or Nothing. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a video package of the Inner Circle and the Pinnacles Stadium Stampede match. So making predictions, I guess, and who's gonna win the Stadium Stampede and all that stuff. So my prediction, who's gonna win the Stadium Stampede, I'm going with. Mm, I don't know, man. I really don't know. It's like neither team can lose to me. Like you want to have the Pinnacle win, because they just formed as a team and you want them to win. But I could see them giving it to the inner circle because they've been in the match before and they never won the Stadium Stampede. In the last match they were in, the last Stadium Stampede match they were in, they lost to the Elite and Matt Hardy. And so yeah, so I might have to go with the inner circle. I might have to pick the inner circle on this one. Like I might be going back and forth. I might pick the Pinnacle. I might pick the inner circle. So, but right now I'm gonna pick the inner circle based off of what happened at the end of the show, which I'm gonna talk about later. And so yeah, so right after that we had a backstage segment. So we had Will Hobbs. He attacked Christian Cage backstage. And so yeah, so apparently they're both in the casino battle royale, and they both trying to take each other out before the battle royal. And so yeah, so the referees had broke both of these guys away, broke them up away from each other because they were about to kill each other. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had another match. It was Hangman Adam Page versus Joey Janela with Sonny Kiss. Another thing, I don't know why this match happened either, but yeah. So yeah, so we had both of these guys. They went back and forth with chops. We had a super kick to Page. We had a fallaway slam on the floor, on the outside floor to Janela. And so both of these guys they were going back and forth with strikes. And then Janela he had tripped up Page on a turnbuckle. And Janela he had took control of the match during a commercial break, picture in picture of course. And we had a springboard clothesline at Janela. And we had an outside crossbody to Janela. We had a spine buster to Janela. He kicked out. We had a big boot to Janela. And then Janela he had hit a rolling German suplex to Page in the corner. So that was nasty. And so yeah, we had a diving elbow drop to Page, a nice looking one at that. And Page had kicked out. And we had a pop up power bomb to Janela. And so yeah, so Page he was bleeding at that point. He was bleeding. I don't know from how he was bleeding, but he was bleeding all over the face. And so yeah, so Page he had hit the buckshot lariat to Janela to win the match. So Hangman Adam Page wins the match. And right after that, you had Taz he had interrupted Page's celebration. And Taz he had called Brian Cage to the ring. And Page he already saw what was coming and all that stuff. He stopped Brian Cage before he can attack him. And so Page he was like, I already know how this is gonna turn out. I already know how it's gonna turn out. You come out, and then Ricky Starks will come out, and then Hook will come out. And y'all guys gonna try to gang up on me. I already know how it ends. And so yeah, basically Page trying to tell Brian Cage, do you really need these guys to beat me? Like, do you really need these guys to beat me? Like, I thought you were better than this, dude. I thought you had balls, but it looked like you don't have any balls since you have these guys fighting your battles for you. And so, yeah, so Page he just wanted Cage to get Team Taz away from ringside at that Double or Nothing match, and so that was it with that. That was it with that. So Brian Cage, you know, he said, he's gonna keep Team Taz. He's gonna keep Team Taz away from ringside. And so yeah, so the match between Brian Cage and Adam Hangman Page, who will win? I'm going with Adam Hangman Page. Going with Adam Hangman Page because the last match they were in, Page lost. Page lost to Cage. It was on a random episode of Dynamite. He lost to Page. I mean, no, he lost to Cage. Page. A lot of Page. But yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, so Adam Hangman Page is my win. Is my pick to win the match at Double or Nothing. And so yeah, right after that we had a backstage segment. It was Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. And so they were talking about the Bucks. At first they had stole their shoes from last time or last week. And that yeah, their expensive Jordan shoes, the Dior's. And so yeah, so they were burying it. They had buried it under the ground, like literally burying in the shoes. And so yeah, Jon Moxley he was talking, and so midway when he was talking, they went to commercial break. Yeah, went to commercial break, and I was like, what? And so yeah, they had came back from commercial break and replayed that whole video. They replayed the whole video, and so yeah, they talked about Double or Nothing, and that at Double or Nothing is a war. You know, it's a war between us and you guys, and we want the tag team championships. We want the tag team championships. And then they said that the Bucks, they had turned their back on the people, and then the people in the back, and then Kingston and Moxley said that they were fighting for, you know, the people who are not appreciated enough. That's who they're fighting for. And so yeah, so basically they saying that, no, fighting for the voiceless, the people that can't speak up for themselves. That's who we're fighting for. And at Double or Nothing, we're gonna become the new AEW Tag Team Champions. And so yeah, that was it with that. So my prediction for the Tag Team Championship match, my pick is gonna be Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston will win the Tag Team Championships. That's what I think. That's what I'm going with. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston to win the tag team titles. And them having the tag team championships, man, that the challengers, the people that can go after them, maybe a FTR or any team on that roster can go after them, man. So yeah, I'm going with Moxley and Kingston to win the match. And so yeah, right after that we had Tony Schiavone. He's in the middle of the ring, and at first he was gonna introduce Orange Cassidy, you know, because Orange Cassidy, he was supposed to give a response to Kenny Omega's offer that he had gave him last week about forfeiting his title match, to try to remove him, to get himself to try to remove himself from the triple threat match. And so, but Pac had interrupted. Pac had interrupted Tony Schiavone, and so yeah, so Pac, he had came in the ring. He had told Schiavone to get out of the ring, like get out of the ring. And so Pac said that Orange Cassidy is irrelevant, and the only person that's relevant, and the only person that's gonna win the AEW World Championship is me, the bastard Pac. And so Pac, yeah, said he's gonna become the AEW World Champion, and he talked about Kenny Omega and how he's sick and tired of him ducking him, and Pac, he had called out Kenny Omega, and so yeah, Kenny Omega, he did not come out. So Kenny Omega, man, a lot of people are calling out Kenny Omega, man, from Sammy Callahan to Moose, everybody calling out not Rich Swann. That was last time. But yeah, everybody calling out Kenny Omega, man. So yeah, but Don Callis, he had interrupted via satellite, and so yeah, he had called Pac a sociopath, and and then Callis had said that he's not gonna come out, that Callis is not gonna come out, but I know one person who will, and so Omega, he tried to attack Pac from behind with that championship, the AEW championship, but Pac, he had saw it coming, and so Pac, he had took out Omega. And so, yeah, right after Pac took out Omega, you had the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows, and Carl Anderson. They had ganged up on Pac, and the Lucha Bros that came out, Pentagon and Ray Phoenix, they had came out and chased off the Good Brothers. And so Omega, he tried to give Pac a one-wing angel, but Orange Cassidy's theme music played. So his theme music had played. He had walked out to the ring with the best friends. And so yeah, so Orange Cassidy, he had that envelope that Callis and Omega had gave him last time last time that they had met. And so yeah, so he handed Omega the envelope, and so Omega, he had opened up the envelope, and they had shredded pieces of paper in the envelope, and so he had poured out the shredded pieces of paper that was in the envelope. So that was a no. So that's signifying that it was a no. That so it was a no, that I'm not going to give up my spot in this match. And so yeah, we had an orange punch to Omega from Cassidy. And so yeah, Pac, he tried to attack Cassidy. I think he was trying to powerbomb him or something like that. But Orange Cassidy, he had caught him with an orange punch. And then Orange to end that, we had Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy, he had held up the AEW World Championship. And so yeah, so the crowd, they were chanting freshly squeezed, freshly squeezed. And so yeah, that was it with that. Really good segment, man. Really good segment. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone, he had interviewed Jade Cargill.
All right, we know about Jade Cargill's open challenge. Kylan King has stepped up, and tonight Jade Cargill and Kylan King will go one-on-one. Maybe a difficult match for you. She's pretty successful.
Difficult match? Are you kidding me?
Matt Hardy.
Again?
Matt Hardy interrupted.
This Sunday, At Double or Nothing, it is going to be the biggest day in the history of the Hardy family office.
Now they got too many people in the Hardy family office. I would not join Matt Hardy if I was Jade Cargill. I would not. He would have bamboozled her out of her money. Would have taken 30% of her paycheck out of and kept it for himself.
I'm going to win the Casino Battle Royale and procure an AEW World Title match.
So Matt Hardy is another person that's in this match, the Casino Battle Royale. I don't think he's gonna win that match. He's not gonna win it. It's either gonna be Christian Cage or somebody else. Somebody else that's coming in. The Joker, I guess. The person that draws the Joker. I get they're gonna win the match. But it's gonna be somebody big. It's gonna be somebody big winning that battle royale.
Big things are happening for the HFO, and I want you to be a part of it. Are you going to join a winning team?
Hold on.
So yeah, you have Mark Sterling. Yeah, interrupted. This is the same guy. This is the same guy that was in MJF's cabinet when he was feuding with Jon Moxley. When Jon Moxley was the AEW World Champion.
I'm sorry to inform you, but Jade's already selected me, and she is now my client. And frankly, I thought you'd be way too busy. You got that big match, plenty of other clients, and I hate to do this because I'm a big fan. If you keep accosting her like this, I'm going to have to slap you with a 50-yard restraining order.
No, I'm
Yes.
big money man. No.
And that's very problematic when we go on the road because you won't even be allowed in the building. Now,
Wow.
Jade's got a big match that we need to prep for that I got her on Dynamite, by the way. And the difference between me and you is you take 30% off the board. I only get paid when she wins.
All the time.
Wow.
Bono for everything else, and Matt, no hard feelings. 347 Smart 40. Let me know if you need any help.
So he threw the card
I
now.
hope you're happy with your decision.
So Matt Hardy was upset that Jade Cargill didn't pick him, and rightfully so, man. I would not pick Matt Hardy. Would not have picked Matt Hardy. But yeah, so Mark Sterling, he's I guess, the Paul Heyman, I guess, the advocate. But yeah, so he's only gonna get paid whenever she wins. So what if she's on a losing streak? Not gonna get paid. But yeah, that was it with that. So Mark Sterling had beat Matt Hardy to the punch. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had a match, and it was Jade Cargill with Mark Sterling in her corner versus Kylan King. And so yeah, so both of these ladies, they tried to use each other's power against each other. And then Cargill, she had curled up King and then slammed King to the mat. We had a shotgun dropkick to Cargill, and we had a spine buster. We had a spine buster to King, and then Cargill, she had took control of the match during the commercial break, picture in picture, of course. And then Cargill, she had threw King out of the ring at one point, and she landed nasty, dude. King did. She landed absolutely awkward. And so to end the match, we had Cargill, she had hit her finishing move, the Glam Slam. I think she called it the Jaded. So the Jaded to King to win the match. So Jade Cargill wins the match. And yeah, man, that was it with that. So yeah, right after that we had Jake. We had Jake the Snake Roberts. They were talking about Miro and the TNT Championship and all that stuff. The TNT Championship match with him and Dante Martin. And, basically saying that he wants the TNT Championship. He's not going to stop until he gets the TNT Championship. He can't wait. He can't wait to get the TNT Championship. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so, yeah, right after that, speaking of the TNT Championship, it was the TNT Championship match. And it was Dante Martin, one half of Top Flight, versus Miro, who is the TNT champion. So this is Miro's first title defense. And so yeah, to start this off, man, we had the crowd chanting Miro's gonna kill you. So this is the first real crowd reaction for Miro. So that had to feel good for Miro, man. Had to feel good for him because Miro, he had showed up during the pandemic. And so yeah, so the crowd started chanting Miro's gonna kill you. So that was really cool. And Miro, he was eating it all up, dude. And so Miro, he had unloaded on Dante. And so we had an overhead belly-to-belly suplex to Dante. And then Miro, he was toying around with Dante and, having fun with the crowd and all that stuff. The crowd cheering for Miro in this match, telling him to beat down Dante. And so Dante, he ended up fighting back. He had a springboard moonsault to Miro, which was nice. And we had a springboard dropkick to Miro. And so, yeah, so Miro, he had caught Dante with a machka kick. And so to end the match, we had Miro, he had locked in his submission move, the game over submission move, or the accolade, or whatever you want to call it, to Dante to win the match. So Dante, he tapped out. So therefore, Miro wins and is still the TNT champion. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Jake the Snake Roberts. He interrupted Miro's celebration by grabbing a microphone. And, he said that at Double or Nothing, it's the end of Miro's reign as TNT champion. And then, Jake, he was talking and talking and talking. And then Miro, he had told Jake to shut his mouth and all that stuff. And he was telling Jake that, is that what you're going to do? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to keep your boy on a leash and all that stuff? Or something like that, he said. And so, yeah, but he said something that absolutely pissed him off. That made Jake said, he told Lance Archer to go get him, like sick him. And so Lance Archer, he ran into the ring, and him and Miro were fighting each other, so a brawl had broke out. And so the referee tried to break it up and all that stuff. And that was it with that. So TNT Championship. Miro versus Lance Archer for the TNT Championship. I'm going with Miro. Miro to retain the championship. You are not going to take that championship off of Miro. You just put the championship on him. And to have him lose it at Double or Nothing is not going to make any sense at all. So have Miro retain the championship. But also, man, Lance, he can't take a loss either. He can't take a loss. So you got to find something. I guess have somebody screw him over or something. Or have Miro cheat, I guess. I don't know. Or even have, what I was hearing people say, have Jake the Snake Roberts turn on Jake, turn on Lance Archer. Have Jake the Snake Roberts turn on Lance Archer. And yeah, and have Jake the Snake Roberts align himself with Miro, I guess. I don't know what good that's gonna do, but yeah, I could see that happen. I could actually absolutely see that happening. Jake the Snake Roberts turning his back on Lance Archer. So yeah, that's my prediction. Miro will retain the TNT Championship. And so yeah, after that we had Tony Schiavone. He introduces Hikaru Shida, who is the AEW Women's Champion, who was dressed up in a nice dress. Hikaru Shida, she looked really nice in that dress. And so yeah, they had presented Hikaru Shida with the new AEW Women's Championship. And so yeah, so the championship looks good. It looks really good. It looks better than the old one. The old championship was so ugly, man. It was so small, dude. It looked like the championship, the old championship, it looked like it was made for Riho. And so that's why she became the first ever champion. But yeah, but this championship right there, the new AEW Women's Championship, it looks stunning. It looks great. And so yeah, so she said that, when she was champion, when she became the champion, there were no fans, there were nobody. But now, each and every single one of you are here. Now you guys are here. And I'm here to share this moment with each and every single one of you. I'm proud to share this moment with each and every single one of you. And so yeah, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, she interrupts. And she said that, she's going to become the AEW Women's Champion. And that, there's going to be a new era.
When I win that title, that new title at Double or Nothing on Sunday, I'll be the face of a whole new era.
Face of a whole new era.
And much like an era before me was all about 316, this era is all about DMD.
And you heard the crowd chant DMD, so that was really nice. It was a huge pop for Britt Baker. So yeah, you already know my pick, man. My prediction, Britt Baker is going to become the new AEW Women's Champion. Calling it right now, man. Said it over and over and over again. She is the right person for for that position as AEW Women's Champion, Britt Baker, man. Like, dude, she is so she's over, man. She is over with the crowd. She has character. She's charismatic. You know, she's gotten better in the ring because at first she wasn't as good in the ring, but now she's gotten better in the ring. You know, yeah, man. Put the championship on her, man. Put the championship on Britt Baker, man. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had Sammy Guevara with his cue cards. And so Sammy, he has said that at Stadium Stampede, the pinnacle time draws near, and that the inner circle will win the Stadium Stampede, and that was it. And so yeah, right after that, we had another match. It was the tag team champion, not a tag team championship. It was a tag team match, and it was Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page versus the Dark Order, Stu Grayson and Evil Uno. So yeah, this is the best match on the show, man. The best match on the show. And so yeah, we had a springboard DDT to Sky from Stu on the apron, so that was a really nice spot. And this match I couldn't keep up. At first I could not keep up with this match because it was all over the place. And so yeah, so we had a springboard cutter to Stu from Sky, so that was really nice too. And so yeah, the heels they had took control of the match during a commercial break, picture in picture, of course. And we had a Uranagi to Sky from Stu, and we had a double Pele kick to Sky from a double Pele kick to Sky and Page from Stu Grayson. And we had a hot tag to Evil Uno. And then Evil Uno, he had hit a Hurricanrana. He hit a Hurricanrana to Ethan Page, so that was really impressive. You know, Evil Uno, he is not a small guy. He's not a small guy. So to see him hit a Hurricanrana, that was really nice. A beautiful sight. And so we had Evil Uno, he hit the end of days to Sky. And so we had a Cannonball 450 splash combo to Page and Scott. So we had Stu Grayson, he had jumped off the top rope and hit a 450 splash on, I think it was Sky. And then Evil Uno, he had hit a cannonball into the corner to Ethan Page, I think it was. And so yeah, to end the match, the heels, they ended up taking control of the match. And then you had Scorpio Sky, he had locked in the heel hook to Stu Grayson. And then you had Ethan Page had hit his finishing move, the Ego's Edge, or the Razor's Edge, or whatever you want to call it, to Evil Uno to win the match. So Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky wins the match. And so right after the match, we had Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page that had spoke. And, basically saying that they were going to end Darby Allin and Sting at Double or Nothing. And so, yeah, my pick for this match, Sting and Darby Allin. So, yeah, they're gonna beat. They said that they were in Darby Allin and Sting at Double or Nothing. And then Sting and Darby Allin had interrupted with Sting's theme music. And so we had extras. They were dressed as Sting, and they were walking with Sting and Darby Allin to the ring. And so they all got into the ring. And so, yeah, so Sky and Page, they had fought off the fake Stings. And so, yeah, so the real Sting, so Scorpio Sky, he had actually thought that he had took out one of the fake Stings. And, like, dude, he should have known. Like, he should have known that, it was actually Sting in the ring. One of the Stings, you could have easily recognized Sting. But Scorpio Sky, he was playing dumb. Like, he didn't recognize it was the real Sting. And so, yeah, so he was punching Sting over and over and over again. But Sting, he was no selling it because it was easy. It was easy. He got the cheap shots, the easy shots in on the extra guys. And so, yeah, yeah, Sky, yeah, man, I'm all over the place. I cannot talk right now, man. So, yeah, we had the real Sting. We had the real Sting and Darby Allin. They fought off Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And my prediction, again, is Sting and Darby Allin will win. And so, yeah, this right here, this is a awesome match, man. One of the best matches on the show tonight. And, yeah, that was it, man. That was it with the match. And so, yeah, right after that was a celebration of the Inner Circle with Eric Bischoff, this guy again. So, yeah, Eric Bischoff, he was the host of the celebration of the Inner Circle. And in the crowd, they had sung Judas. I loved it, man. The first, first jam-packed crowd in AEW singing along to Judas. That was really nice. And so, yeah, so we had a video package from the Inner Circle, the beginning of the Inner Circle, everything that they went through, the highest of highs. You know, they didn't show their lowest of lows, which Jake Hager had talked about in the promo. And so yeah, they were talking about their times in the inner circle. Every single person spoke. You know, Jericho spoke, Santana, Ortiz, Sammy, and Jake. They had spoke. And so yeah, they were talking about their future in the inner circle. Like if we don't make it, if we don't win this match, you know, I love you guys. That's what Jericho had said. I love you guys. And so they all had hugged each other. And then MJF, he had interrupted via satellite with Wardlow, and they were at the stadium. And so yeah, so they were talking to Jericho and the rest of the inner circle. And then MJF, he was pretending, he was pretending as if he was gonna cry. So I thought that was really funny, dude. I really thought that was really funny. And so yeah, so yeah, it was him and Wardlow. And so yeah, they had Dean Malenko. They had Dean Malenko. He was beaten up by one of these guys. I think it was Wardlow. And so yeah, they showed the camera. They showed the camera on Dean Malenko. And so he was beaten up. And so Dean Malenko, of course, is one of Chris Jericho's closest friends. So they have history with each other in WCW. So they go way back. And so yeah, so Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle, they had chased. They went to the stadium. They had ran to the stadium to go, to try to save Dean Malenko. And so yeah, so they were running to the stadium, but they got ambushed by the rest of the Pinnacle, by FTR and Shawn Spears. And so yeah, they were fighting in the stadium. So we got a preview of the Stadium Stampede. And so yeah, we had chair shots from Shawn Spears to Sammy Guevara. So we had a lot of stuff going on. And so yeah, so to end that, we had FTR. They had power driven, proud and powerful Santana and Ortiz through the two tables. They had two tables in the stadium. So FTR, they had power driven Santana and Ortiz through two tables. And you had the rest of the Pinnacle. They pill driven the rest of the inner circle on a pile of chairs. So they hit the power drivers at the same time. So I thought that was really nice, and great timing too on that power driver. And so yeah, that was it with that. And yeah, to end that, we had MJF. Of course, he said that when you're in the Pinnacle, you're always on top, and they did their pose. And so yeah, that was it. So this was a great segment, really great segment. Now, who wins the Stadium Stampede? I'm going with. It's hard to say, man. It really is. Like it felt like nobody can lose, man. It felt like nobody can lose. I want to say the Pinnacle. But I do also want to say the Inner Circle. It's more of who needs to win more. Who needs to win more? Is it the Inner Circle or is it the Pinnacle? I don't know. They both need to win. Pinnacle need to win because they just form as a group, and you want them to have that momentum. You want them to keep winning and winning and winning and not lose. But with the Inner Circle, if you have them lose, they're gonna break up forever. So, and the Inner Circle, they've been dominant. They carried AEW on their back. So you don't want to break up the Inner Circle. So who's it gonna be? Who is it gonna be? And so my final thought, man, is Inner Circle, man. I'm gonna have to go with the Inner Circle. Or the Pinnacle. I don't know, man. I'm gonna just pick the Inner Circle. For right now, man. But I actually think that the Pinnacle will win. I actually think the Pinnacle is gonna win, but I'm going with the Inner Circle. And so yeah, that was it with the show. It was okay. The show was okay. It was more of a filler show. Felt like they added, you know, matches just to add matches on the show. And and they just getting you hyped up. They're just getting you hyped up for Double or Nothing. And that was it. That's all they did. Now the fans was another positive. It was a positive on the show to have fans there, a packed audience there. That was really great. And so yeah, but you know, it was still an okay show. Filler show. And yeah, man. And so yeah, man. And that was it, man. That was it with the review for AEW Dynamite for May 28th, 2021 on The Ryan Awesome Show. And if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell to be the first ones to know my next video will come out, because I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. You hit the thumbs up. You like the video. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on the bell for all notifications. And comment down below, man. Tell me how you felt about this episode of AEW Dynamite. And yeah, man. And I'll see you guys on Saturday for my Pro Wrestling Crate. I will be doing my Pro Wrestling Crate video on Saturday. If not, then it's going to be on Monday. And yeah, and also I'll see you guys on Sunday for Double or Nothing for AEW Double or Nothing 2021. And yeah, man. And if you missed my last week's review of AEW Dynamite, the video is going to be right up here in this corner. And the link to that video will be down below in the description. So make sure you click either this video right here that's sitting right here, or hit the link down below and that's in the description. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you, and thank you, man. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and that's that.